Good morning po.
Good morning po.
Okay, so midterm na tayo ngayon pala, no? So we'll be discussing today the module 4. This module is quite long, as I told you last time. So we'll just cover certain part of it. I'm not really expecting to finish this in 1 week. No? So okay, so I hope you were able to do some advanced reading. We'll be talking about many details, many complexities sa taxation ng corporation. So are you ready? No? Let's start. Do you see my PowerPoint presentation?
Yes po.
Okay. In taxation, generally, there are two kinds of taxpayers. Number one, yung mga individuals, which we have discussed in module number 3. The second one ay yung mga corporations. So we will discuss corporations in this module, so which is module number 4. Okay? So yun ang isipin, no? Dalawa ang taxpayers. Okay, ang classification ng taxpayers. So a taxpayer could be an individual or a corporation. Okay? You might wonder, sir, di ba merong partnership? So sa taxation, ang partnership, kino-consider siya either as a corporation or an individual. Okay? So tatandaan nyo, dalawa lang ang taxpayers. Okay? So individuals and corporations. So I hope the taxation for individuals are now clear to you, no? Because we have already discussed that in module 3. Okay? So the taxation for individuals. So now we'll cover the taxation for corporations. Yeah. Okay? Okay, so let's start. Okay, so in this module, we'll be discussing the following. So the definition of corporation. And I'd like to highlight the definition that we will discuss is only for tax purposes. For other purposes, there may be different definition. But as far as this subject is concerned, we'll define corporation for tax purposes. Number 2, we'll enumerate later the different corporate taxpayers. So actually, these are the different corporate taxpayers. Domestic, resident, foreign. Tapos we have non-resident foreign corporations. So bali tatlo yan. Okay, so number 1, domestic. Number 2, resident foreign. And number 3, non-resident foreign corporations. If you remember, sa individuals, how many classification of taxpayers did we discuss? Or do we have? Naalala niyo pa ba? So there are 4, no? Which can be expanded into 5. So di ba you have 2 for non-resident aliens, no? Which can be engaged or not engaged in trade or business. Okay, so there are five technically, no? But in corporations, there are only three. So domestic corporations, resident foreign corporations, and we have non-resident foreign corporations. And on the last part of this module, we will discuss exempt corporations. But they're not totally exempt. They're only exempt under certain activities. Okay? Exemption given in our tax code is not a blanket exemption that if it is given to a certain corporation, everything that that corporation does will be exempt. It's not that way, no? These corporations are given exemptions only on their exempt activities. So, ang exemption sa taxation is very strict. Per activity siya in-specified, no? Okay? So, not because a corporation is an exempt corporation, it is totally exempt. Because an exempt corporation may have taxable activities. Okay? So, exempt corporations are exempt in as far as their exempt activities are concerned. Ganun siya, no? And what are those activities? We will discuss sa last part ng topic. I hope you should be very, very interested, no, in this topic. I hope you have that burning interest in you. No? Kasi, like it or not, in the future, when you start working, you'll be employed. And your employer usually would be a corporation. And maybe that corporation, for that corporation, you'll be assigned to compute its taxes or income tax. So the taxation of that corporation depends on a lot of things, which we will discuss everything in this module. So let's define corporations for tax purposes. Ang corporation pwedeng OPC or the one-person corporation. Pwede siyang partnerships. Yan, no matter how created or organized. So kaya pala, dalawa lang ang taxpayers, individuals and corporations, at hindi kasama ang partnerships. Because partnerships are already considered as corporations for tax purposes. Okay? So kaya dalawa lang, no? Individuals and corporations. Then joint stock companies, joint accounts, cuentas and participation, association, insurance companies. So very broad ang definition ng corporation. Kasama yung mga association, even joint stock, insurance companies. Because the taxation system that we have in the Philippines, once it's comprehensive and it covers everything, no? Na taxable. Okay? So, kaya malawak ang definition. Okay, so ano naman yung hindi corporations for tax purposes? Ang General Professional Partnerships, GPP. Hindi raw siya corporation. Okay? So, ang sole purpose ng GPP is to exercise a profession. No? At wala siyang income derived from any trade or business. Okay? Let me give you an example. Anong pinakasikat na accounting firm dito sa Pilipinas? Can you chat? No? Do you know any accounting firm in the Philippines? SGV, no? So that's the number one and the biggest accounting firm. SGV is considered, yeah, PWC as well, or Isla Lipana. No? Let's take, for instance, the SGV. SGV is actually a general professional partnership. That's for the exercise of accountancy profession. Therefore, ang owners niyan ay hindi stockholders. Rather, partners. Okay? So SGV is composed of its partners. Pero for taxation, even though SGV is a partnership, SGV daw is not a corporation. Okay? So hindi kino-consider na corporation si SGV dahil isa siyang general professional partnership. And we will discuss kung paano tinatax ang SGV and its partners sa separate module. We dedicate separate module for partnerships. Okay? So in general, partnerships are considered as corporations for tax purposes, but not those that are GPP. Okay? They're not considered as corporations. Yeah. Okay? So SGV is not a corporation for tax purposes because SGV is a GPP, or a general professional partnership. Now, another not corporation is a joint venture or consortium, but for construction projects or engaged in petroleum, coal, basta energy, no, operations. Pursuant to an operating consortium agreement under service contract with government. Okay? So, dalawa yan, hindi lang for construction but also for energy operations. So these are not corporations, pero generally they are corporations. No? These are the exceptions. Okay? So I want you to memorize yung rules na yun. No? So generally, you have corporations, kasama yung mga partnership, joint venture, except for GPP, except for engage in construction joint venture, okay, or sa energy operations. So you ask yourself, no? You ask yourself, ang definition ba ng corporations ay malinaw na sa inyo ngayon? Ano ang ibig sabihin ng corporation for tax purposes? Okay? Kasama yung mga partnership in general, association. So, but there are exceptions, which are GPP, tapos joint venture involving construction projects and energy operations. Okay? So let's discuss now corporate taxpayers. Who are the corporate taxpayers? Now, according to the country of organization and the residents, we have domestic, foreign. The foreign may be resident foreign or non-resident foreign corporation. So yung tatlong nabanggit ko kanina, they are the corporate taxpayers according to their country of organization or residence. Okay? Now, according to income tax rate, Okay, according to income tax rate. Ordinary corporation. Subject to regular corporate income tax. CIT stands for corporate income tax. So a corporation is considered as an ordinary corporation if that corporation is subject to the regular corporate income tax. Okay? So if the regular corporate income tax applies to a certain corporation, that corporation is known as an ordinary corporation. The other one is special corporation. When you say special corporation, the income tax rate is not the regular, but the special, or the lower than the regular corporate income tax. These are some terminologies that you will encounter in this subject. Domestic, foreign corporation, ordinary, special corporation. So when you encounter them, it only means classification of corporate taxpayers. So when you say domestic, foreign, they're the classifications according to the country of organization or residence. But when you say ordinary or special corporations, you're talking about the income tax rate that applies to a certain corporation. So ulitin ko lang, a corporation is ordinary when the income tax rate that applies is the regular corporate income tax. But if the income tax rate that applies is the lower tax rate than the regular corporate income tax rate, then that corporation is considered as a special corporation. So it's important that you know these classifications. Okay? Notice class. Question na lang pala para malinaw. Sa tingin nyo, ano ang domestic corporation? Ordinary corporations or special corporations? So many of you say ordinary, and there are a few that say special. The good thing is, tama kayo both. That's right, Veronica. A domestic corporation could either be or could be both ordinary and special. Depende kasi kung anong tax rate yung mag-a-apply sa kanya. If that domestic corporation is subject to regular corporate income tax, then ordinary siya. Or kung at the same time, meron siyang another activities na ang activity na yon ay subject to lower than the regular corporate income tax. So at the same time, meron siya, kino-consider din siya special corporation. So a domestic corporation could either be or both. Okay, depending on what tax rate would apply to that corporation as a whole or on its different activities. Ganun kagulo ang taxation system natin. But it's not really what we say magulo or complex. But it's a comprehensive system. Okay? So let's continue. Special corporations. Ang domestic corporation are the following. Itong mga eskwelahan, we will discuss this later na lang, no? Kung sino-sino itong mga to, at mga hospitals. Proprietary educational institutions, non-profit hospitals. They're considered as special domestic corporations. Then we have expanded foreign currency deposit system ng isang bangko, ng mga bangko, or EFCBS. Later, I will expound these things. Special resident foreign court, international carriers, mga branch regarding their profit remittances. We have regional or area headquarters and regional operating headquarters of multinational companies. Then, ganun din, yung expanded foreign currency deposit system ng mga bangko. Okay. Sa non-resident foreign court, could be cinematographic film owner, lessor, or distributor. Owner or lessor of vessel chartered by Philippine nationals. Owner or lessor of aircraft, machineries, and other equipment. Let me ask you. Ang regular kasi na corporate income tax rate natin, generally, it's 25%. 25% is what we call regular corporate income tax. So let me ask you, do you think that 25% regular corporate income tax rate applies to these corporations and these corporations, as well as these corporations? What do you think? Do you think the 25% regular corporate income tax rate applies to them? Because they are considered as special corporations. Being so, the tax rate that applies to them is the special tax rate, not the regular. That's why they're considered as special corporations. Okay, so kung ano yung mga special tax rates na yun, we will cover in a short while. Okay? So let's talk about this table, the taxpayer, the taxable on income, type of income, and the tax base. Ang domestic corporation, worldwide ang kanyang taxation. Worldwide. Within and without the Philippines. So para siyang resident citizens. Silang dalawa ang magkaparehas. In parallel, no, they're the same. So resident citizens for individuals and domestic corporations for corporations. So they are taxed in their worldwide income. Okay? Notice, if the type of income is corporate or business, the tax base is the net income, the taxable net income. But if the income is passive or the capital gains, so shares of stock, land and buildings, gross yung kanilang tax base. except for the capital gains on unlisted stocks of domestic corporations. Now, for resident foreign corporations, within the Philippines lang yan. Okay? So same thing dito sa type of income and tax base for resident foreign corporations as that of domestic corporations. Ang non-resident foreign is only within the Philippines in taxation. Pero notice, ang kanyang tax base ay gross income. Even for the corporate or business income. Okay, so same thing for passive and capital gains. Tulad siya ng resident, foreign corp, and domestic corporation. So we're going to discuss each one of them, the three corporations according to their country of organization and residence. What I'm hoping today is just to finish domestic. Medyo mahaba yan actually. So let's discuss domestic corporations this time. Okay. In general, ang domestic corporations ay taxable sa kanyang net income. Ang tax rate, 25%, pero pwede siyang maging 20% in certain cases. So anong tawag nyo sa rate na to? Is this regular rate or special rate? So that's the regular, very good, very good. So we call this the RCIP. Regular corporate income tax. So what are we referring dito sa number 1? Are we referring the ordinary or special corporations? Very good. So we're referring to the ordinary corporations. Ordinary corporations. Okay, so GOCCs, ito yung government-owned and controlled corporations, agencies, instrumentalities. So they are taxed as ordinary corporations. Except for GSIS, SSS, PhilHealth, local water districts, Pag-ibig Fund, PPB, and PIESA. We'll discuss this later. Pero OC din ito sila. Ordinary corporations. Then we have proprietary educational institutions. Okay? And non-profit hospitals. Pag hospitals, dapat non-profit. Pag educational institution, for-profit. Ito, proprietary is for-profit. So the tax base is also the taxable net income. Tingnan nyo ang tax rate nito, class. 1% siya. Okay? Pero pwede rin siya maging ganito eh. Later, we will discuss kung kailan to applicable. Until June 30 of 2023 next year. But after that, starting July 1, the 1% will become 10%. So anong tawag nyo dito kay proprietary educational institutions and not-for-profit hospitals na subject to one which later will become 10%. Ordinary corporation ba to or special? So very good. Okay. Special corporation ito. This is what we call special corporate income tax. Pero may conditions kasi bago gamitin ang special rates na to. If the conditions are not satisfied, then the tax rate that would apply would be the regular. Kaya nilagay ko pa rin na pwede siyang regular. No? Then we have depository banks under expanded foreign currency deposit system. Ang tax basis nito ay gross income. Ang tax rate ay 10% or could be exempt. So what do you think of depository banks under expanded foreign currency deposit system? Ordinary ba ito na corporation or special? So very good. Yeah? This is special corporation. And this 10% or the exemption is the special corporate income tax. Okay? However, yung diniscuss ko dito sa inyo sa slide, hindi siya applicable to passive income and capital gains tax from Philippine sources. The reason for that, kasi pag passive income, di ba, subject na normally yan to final withholding tax. At ito naman capital gains tax, which is also a final tax. Okay? At naalala niyo yung rule natin sa individual, pag na-subject na to final withholding tax, what do we do further? Remember, pag na-subject na to final withholding tax, ang isang income, hindi na siya isasama pa sa nire-report sa ITR. Okay? That's why excluded ang passive income and capital gains tax. Let me expound your imagination. You're familiar with Banco de Oro. Wait lang. Later na si Banco de Oro. Si Jollibee muna. Okay? Jollibee is a Filipino company. Jollibee is a domestic corporation. Ano sa tingin niyo si Jollibee? Ordinary corp ba siya or special? Dalawa lang naman ang special na domestic corp. Proprietary educational institutions, not for special corp. That corporation is an ordinary corporation. So correct, Jollibee is an ordinary corporation. So what tax rate applies to Jollibee? Very good. So the RCIP, which is generally 25%. Although could be 20%. No? So, very good. No? Balik tayo kay Banco de Oro. Ano sa tingin niyo si Banco de Oro? BDO is also a domestic corporation. Special corporation ba si Banco de Oro? Or domestic? Remember, dalawa ang special. Sa una, proprietary educational institution and not-for-profit hospital. Hindi siya magpo-fall doon. Sa pangalawa siya magpo-fall. Kasi siya ay isang depository bank. So what is BDO? Tignan natin. May dalawang units si BDO. Yung peso unit niya, tapos yung kanyang foreign currency. Let's say dollar. Ang tawag dito sa peso, although pwede rin magka-dollar ito. Lagyan natin ng dollar. Ang tawag dito sa peso dollar, sorry. Ang tawag dito ay regular banking unit. The other unit which deals with foreign currency is foreign currency deposit unit. Etong FCDU, dito yan. Special corp siya. Pero yung kanyang regular banking unit is considered as ordinary corporation. So if I ask you, ano si Banco de Oro na klaseng domestic corporation? Ordinary or special corporation? The answer is both. The answer is both. Okay? It just so happens kasi na merong special taxation for depository banks if they operate expanded foreign currency deposit system. Okay? So, paanong flow of thought nyo in classifying domestic or corporations? So, first, you should know the country of origin for you to determine whether it's domestic or foreign or non-resident foreign. Then the next is to know what tax rate would apply. Kung ordinary corporation ba siya or special corporation. Kabisaduhin nyo lang kung ano-ano yung special. Kasi limited lang yung special corporations. Specifically, dun sa mga na-mention natin. Na for domestic, dalawa lang yan. Proprietary educational, not-for-profit hospital, and FCDU na mga banks. Tatlo pala kung bibilangin mo talaga maigi. No? So, other than those special corporations, then they are considered as ordinary corporations. It's important to know that kasi that determines the tax rate that would apply. And not only the tax rate, the tax base as well. Okay? Kaya naguguluhan sa taxation ang mga estudyante, even some practitioners, some businessmen, even law students, or lawyers na nga, no, minsan. Because they think that we have a single tax rate that would apply to all corporations. That's not the case. There are many tax rates. And it's important that you know kung domestic ba siya, at kung domestic siya, or whether foreign, ordinary corp ba siya, or special corp. Okay? So ang process ng yung flow of thought nyo dapat ay kabisaduhin nyo lang kung ano yung mga special corp. Kasi limited lang sila doon. And if if a single corporation does not fall under those special corporations, then that corporation is an ordinary corporation. Then the tax rate that would apply is the regular corporate income tax. Okay? If it falls, then therefore meron siyang special tax rate para sa kanya. Are we clear with what we're discussing so far? You follow?
Yes po.
Okay, so very good. Huh? Dahan-dahanin lang natin kasi pag binilisan natin, maguguluhan lang kayo. Dapat yun yung flow of thought nyo dito. Okay? So recognize that there are different corporations. We classify them according to their country of origin and residence, and whether they're ordinary or special. We do that so that we'll know what tax rate will apply to that corporation, a certain corporation. Okay? Now, in general, domestic corporations, ang tax rate niya ay kung ano ang mas mataas. Between the 25% regular corporate income tax on taxable income. Or ang 25 na yan, pwede siyang maging 20%. Kung yung taxable income niya, hindi lumagpas ng 5 milyon. Okay? At ang kanyang total assets, hindi lumagpas ng 100 million, excluding land on which the entity's office, plant, and equipment are situated. So, para sa maliliit na corporations, yung 20%. But generally, 25%. So generally, when we say regular corporate income tax or tax rate or RC, no? We're referring to 25%. Okay, 20% could apply if the two conditions are satisfied. Not exceeding 5 million yung net income or taxable income, and the total assets do not exceed 100 million. Okay, so the other one is the 2% minimum. M stands for minimum corporate income tax on gross income. But right now, this is 1% up to next year, June 30. So let me clarify ng konti. Let me twist ng konti or tweak ng konti yung mindset natin. Ordinary corporations are subject to what tax rate again? RC, no? Which is generally 25%. If certain conditions are met, could be 20%. So ordinary corporations are subject to RCEP. However, there is a minimum corporate income tax, which is 2% on gross income. RCEP is based on net income or taxable income. Net ito, yung RCEP. MCEP is based on gross, no? So merong minimum. Kaya, kung yung RCEP mo ay mababa, o kaya you incurred a loss. Kasi 25% is based on taxable income, di ba? E paano kung you incurred a loss? May babayaran ka pa rin bang tax? Yes, because you'll have to pay the minimum. Okay? So ang rule therefore is whichever is higher between the two. Okay? Sa tingin nyo, bakit ni-require ng batas na merong minimum corporate income tax? Hindi ba unfair naman yun na lugi ka na nga, may babayaran ka pa rin na income tax in the form of minimum income tax? Isn't it unfair on the part of the taxpayers? Why does the government require corporations to pay minimum? But it gets paid if it is higher than the regular tax. So tingin nyo, bakit nagre-require siya ng minimum? Anyone who wants to share his or her thoughts para po organize and standardize? So that could be, pinoprotektahan nila ang country. Okay. Exercise ng rights. Okay. What is the first theory of taxation? Taxation is the lifeblood of the government. No? So dapat ba ang gobyerno, meron silang certainty na every year may makokolekta silang tax? May kasiguraduhan ba na makakolekta sila ng tax? Yes. Otherwise, the government will be crippled. And that's not good for the country, no? As a whole. Okay? At ang isang corporation, whether kumita siya or hindi, nag-benefit siya from the government to be able to conduct business. In North Korea, you cannot conduct business. Okay? So it's only right na kahit lugi ka, meron kang minimum na babayaran. Okay? And of course, again, the government should be able to collect taxes. It's the lifeblood of the government. Okay? So merong minimum. Okay? So notice, ang minimum na corporate income tax, nag-start siya for taxable year following the year ng commencement ng business operation. Commencement of business operation is upon issuance of BIR certificate of registration. So if you commenced in 2017, you commenced in 2017, when will MSIT begin? 2021. That's the fourth taxable year following the year of commencement of business operation. So fourth year. No? So if you commence 27, you count 1, 2, 3, 4. So 18, 19, 20, sorry, 18, 19, 18, 19, 20, 21. So 21 is the fourth year. Okay. So prior to 2021, you do not pay MCIT. So you're given benefit pa ng government kasi start-up ka pa lang. So if you really incur a loss, then you are excused to paying income tax. But not the following year. Kasi that's fourth year already, following the year of business operation. So by that time, you should share the burden of taxation. Okay, ang covered ng MSIT, yung mga domestic, pati resident foreign, na subject to RCIT. So therefore, does MSIT apply to special corp? Ang sagot, hindi. MSIT only applies to special corporations. So for corporations whose operations are partly covered by RCIT and partly covered by special corporate income tax, MSIT shall apply only on operations covered by RCIT. So kung ikaw si Banco de Oro, for your regular banking unit, you pay RCIT or MSIT, whichever is higher. But for your foreign currency deposit unit, you only pay for the special tax rate. Okay? So, sino mga hindi covered ng MSIT? Corporations subject to preferential. Preferential is special. Okay? Tax rate. Like the proprietary educational institutions, non-profit hospitals, depository banks under FCDU, Foreign Currency Deposit System. Firms under special income tax regime, like PEZA, okay? May mga income tax holiday. International carriers, so ito, special corp din to eh. So these are the not covered corporations. So what's your answer to this checkpoint question? A PEZA registered enterprise has a registered and unregistered activity. Saan applicable ang MSIT? So partly, di ba? Partly. What do you think? Yung registered, special corporate income tax to. Itong hindi registered, RCIT ito. So saan mag-apply yung MSIT? Pag partly, the answer is dun lang sa applicable sa RC. Therefore, ang sagot, letter B, Bravo, no? Unregistered activity. So it's the one covered by RCI. Now, this should be your mindset, no? Ang talagang tax na babayaran ay yung RCIT. Pagkataon lang na na-require ng government ng minimum. But it's really the RCIT na kailangan bayaran. Kaya, technically, ang MCIT is a form of advance payment. MCIT is a form of advance payment. So what would happen kung meron kang excess na minimum tax? Let's say ganito. Ang RCIT mo ay 100 pesos. Ang MCIT mo ay 120 pesos. Di ba? You pay 120. You pay 120, no? Pero ang dapat mo lang talagang bayaran doon is 100, which is the RCIT. So meron kang advance payment na magkano? 20. 20 is what we call excess minimum tax. Sa tingin nyo, pwede mo pang mapakinabangan yung advance payment na yan? Kasi that is an advance payment. Ang sabi ng tax law natin, yes, pwede mo pang pakinabangan yan. You can forward. So if RCIT is higher than MCIT, hindi mo babayaran yung MCIT. RCIT yung babayaran whichever is higher. Pero yung sinasabi natin kanina, kung mas malaki yung MCIT over RCIT, yung excess na 20, carry forward in the next 3 years. Okay, so the MCIT carry forward, the 20 pesos, pwede mo mapakinabangan in the form of tax credit. No? So, pero, pwede mo lang siyang i-charge kung ang RCIT ay greater than MCIT. So, ulitin ko lang. Yung 20 pesos na excess MCIT, pwedeng pakinabangan pa yun in the next 3 years. Pero pwede mo lang i-credit yun if in the next 3 years, you're going to pay RCIT. So it's RCIT, it's excess MCIT against RCIT. Okay? Excess MCIT can be applied against IT. However, excess MCIT cannot be applied to MCIT. Hindi pwedeng ang advance payment mo, i-apply mo na naman sa advance payment pa. Tandaan yung rule. Excess MCIT can be applied against RCIT. But you cannot apply excess MCIT against another MCIT. Hindi pwede yun, no? So that's another advance payment which you cannot apply by your previous advance payment. Let me illustrate that. Okay? The MCIT application and the carry forward. So keep in mind, carry forward can be made in the next 3 years. Let's see. No? So we have here a domestic corporation. So ito yung kanyang normal tax and minimum corporate income tax. Normal tax is the RCIT. So excess MC over normal tax carry forward is shown below. At nasa baba, yung tax due. Ayan. We'll see. Sa year 4, ang binayaran niya is MC. Kasi mas malaki yan kaysa sa RC. So therefore, ang binayaran niya is 80,000. Pero ang dapat mo lang bayaran ay 20,000, di ba? So what do you call the 60K? What do you call 60K? That's excess MCI. Etong 60K na to, saan siya pwedeng i-apply? Against, in the next 3 years, against RCIT. Very good. You cannot apply that if in the next 3 years, MSIT ka pa rin. Hindi pwedeng mag-advance payment ka, tapos ang ipambabayad mo yung dati mong advance payment. Hindi pwede yun, no? So in year 5, malaki pa rin ang MSIT. So ang binayaran, 50,000 na MSIT. Pero ang dapat mong bayaran sa year 5, 30K. So you have another 20K. What do you call again that 20K in year 5? Excess MC. Not just MC, but excess MC. So it's the same thing as the 60K. So pinagbayad ka 50,000. Nagamit mo ba in year 5 yung 60K na excess MC or hindi? So hindi, dahil you cannot use that. Kasi ang babayaran mo sa year 5 ay MC. Okay? Yes, mas mataas yung MC, no? So mag-advance payment ka, therefore. So hindi pwedeng yung ipambabayad mo for the advance payment that you're going to make was your previous advance payment, na 60K. So hindi siya pwede. So come year 6, mas malaki na yung normal tax or RC. Kaya 40K ang babayaran. Okay? Pero bakit 0 ang binayaran niya? RC siya na 40K. Pero bakit 0 yung binayaran niya? Dahil kinuha niya yun from, nag-apply siya ng tax credit. So, ito yun, yung 40K na to. Itong 40K na to is galing siya sa year 4. So, ang balance na lang nito, after year 4, is 20,000. Okay? So, meron ka pang 40 kasi meron ka pang another 20K sa year 5. Pagdating ng year 7, nag-MSIT na ulit siya. Mas malaki, no? 40 as against 20. Ang binayaran is really the 40. Bakit nagbayad siya ng 40K? Hindi niya pwedeng applyan ng tax credit. Kasi mag-advance payment ulit siya. Pero dito, meron ka na namang advance payment, excess MC na another 20K. So determine the total. Magkano na ang total MCIT? Excess MCIT. So all of you answered 60K. So I could understand na ito yan, the balance of 20K, another 20K, at itong 20K na to. However, expired na tong 20K na to. Kasi, nakailang years na siya. Nakatatlo. So pagdating ng year 8, hindi na yan applicable. So ang balance mo na lang at the end of year 7 is 40,000 na lang. Okay? So pagdating ng year 8, ang normal tax ay mas malaki, which is 70,000. So you should pay the 70,000. Pero bakit 30,000 ang binayaran mo? Because claim mo na tax credit yung excess MC. So magkano available na lang? As we said, 40,000 na lang. Itong dalawang 20K. So that is the application of MCIT. Including the carry forward of excess MCIT. Ang problema, that is per annum. Dapat talaga ganyan per annum. Kaso lang, ang filing ng ITR, although ang final is yearly, quarterly ginagawa siya. So you have first quarter, then you accumulate to second quarter, and you accumulate the third quarter, and finally, you accumulate for the whole year. So we'll discuss later yung quarterly. Relief from MCIT. So pwede raw siyang i-allow kung merong labor dispute, force majeure, legitimate business reverses. Tulad ng time ng COVID talaga, lockdown. So some senators are saying na ipagpaliban yung pagbayad ng MCIT. But they could not afford that kasi they have to, procure vaccines. So ang ginawa nila, binawasan yung tax rate from 2% to 1%. So those are the times na under the law, pwedeng ipagpaliban ang pagbayad ng MCIT. These are the cases mentioned under the law. Okay, applying MCIT is based on gross income. Ang gross income is the net revenue, that's gross revenue less discount, returns, allowances, minus yung direct cost. So para siyang gross profit. Pero you have to add other income. Except yung na final tax na, or those that are exempt. So anong tinutukoy na gross income? 2% ng gross income na MCIT. It's the gross profit. So it's not the revenue, it's not your top line. You have to deduct cost of sales, cost of service. And if you have other income, you add pa. Except kung yung other income na yan is exempt or is subject to final withholding tax. Which, remember, pag na final withholding tax na, we don't anymore include in tax return. Okay? So ito yung sinasabi kong quarterly, no? So So if quarterly MSIT is higher than quarterly RSIT, you pay MSIT for that quarter. So allowed credits are the following against the quarterly MSIT. CWT, ito yung creditable na withholding tax. We have discussion for withholding taxes. The quarterly income tax that you have already paid under normal tax, and pwede mo rin ibawas yung MSIT sa previous quarter. Dito sa letter C, madalas nagkakalito. Sir, sabi mo kanina, bawal na i-apply mo yung MSIT na binayaran mo dati sa MSIT mo ngayon. What we've discussed ay for the whole year. Yung galing sa previous year. Pero if we're talking about the same year na galing sa previous quarter, pwede naman. So ano yung bawal? Yung galing sa previous year na excess MSIT. Okay, ang i-apply mo sa current year na MSIT. Pero kung same year siya, just different quarters, the previous quarter excess MSIT, pwede mo siyang i-apply sa current quarter MCI. So excess MSIT from previous taxable year shall not be allowed to be credited against the quarterly MSIT. Okay, so although nagpa-file tayo ng quarterly income tax return, the final adjustment of tax return is made annually because income tax is an annual tax. There's just a quarterly filing, pero the final adjustment is made at the annual level because income tax is really an annual tax, a yearly tax. So the final comparison between RSIT and MSIT is made sa annual ITR. If RSIT is higher, allowed credits, the quarterly MSIT, allowed. The quarterly RSIT, allowed din. Excess MSIT ng prior year, kasi RSIT naman is higher, subject to prescriptive period of 3 years. CWT in the current year, even CWT ng prior year, pwede. Pero kung MSIT is higher, ang allowed credits, quarterly MSIT ng same year, current taxable quarter, quarterly RSIT ng current year, CWT ng current year, even ng prior year. So ang bawal lang, yung MSIT ng prior year. So excess MSIT from previous year shall not be allowed to be credited against the annual MCI. Did you follow, class? Okay. So tandaan, what is income tax? Is it a quarterly tax or is it annual tax? Is income tax a quarterly tax or annual tax? It's essentially an annual tax. Kaya you make final adjustment sa annual ITR. Okay? Even if you made filings ng quarterly. Okay? So pwede bang gamitin ang excess MCIT pang credit sa MCIT rin? Yes, pag same year, pwede yun. Pero pag pertaining to prior year, hindi siya pwede. So ang general rule, bawal. Except if it belongs to the same year. Okay, different quarters lang. Pwede yun. No? So ganyan yung application. Allowable deductions, itemized deductions, and we have optional standard deductions. We will not discuss this yet. There's a separate module dedicated for allowable deductions. Let me ask you, ang 25% na RCIT, saan siya minumultiply? Net taxable income or gross income? So net taxable income. How do you arrive at the net taxable income? Starting from gross income. Kasi gross income, di ba, is gross income. We have gross income. This is gross income, GI. We have revenue or sales minus cost of sales. So we have gross income. Then you deduct allowable deductions. So we have net taxable income. Itong slide na to ay tungkol sa allowable deductions. Separate module natin i-cover yan. Okay? So, there are very, very strict rules before you can apply or you can claim deductions. Okay? Not because you incurred expense, you're entitled to deductions. You have to comply with strict rules of allowable deductions. So that warrants a separate module. No? So we've covered the ordinary corporations. Let's cover this one. Quick lang to. So general rule, pag government, exempt. Tama? Generally, pag government, ka-exempt ka na kasi you may be just getting money from one pocket and putting it in another. Okay? Pero, if you're performing proprietary functions, then you are taxable as ordinary corporations. What is land bank? Is it government or private corporation? Land bank is government, but it's performing proprietary function for profit din yan. Kaya it's taxable like an ordinary corporation. Okay? Exempt lang itong sila GSIS, kahit na insurance pa yan. SSS ganun din. Mutual fund sa pag-ibig. So, PhilHealth, local water districts. Okay? So they're exempt because there's a law that exempts them. Ito yung Tourism Promotions Board, Tourism Infrastructure, and Enterprise Zone Authority. Yes. No? So that's for letter A. Let's talk about educational institutions and not-for-profit hospitals. Ang tax rate nila ay 10% on taxable income. Siyempre, except yung income na subject to final tax. It's been reduced to 1% last year nung height nung pandemic, no? Until June 30 next year. So anong tawag sa mga institutions na to or corporations na to? Ordinary or special? Special. No? That's why we have this special tax rates. Ang isang educational institution dapat proprietary, meaning for profit, not private entity. Pero pag hospital, ang higpit, mas mahigpit yung requirement. Dapat daw not for profit. So I have here a summary para hindi kayo malito para sa educational institution tapos hospitals. Yan. Pag ang owner ay private, so proprietary, meaning for profit, educational institution subject to special rate taxable income. Pero pag yung hospital ang proprietary, regular siya. Itong dalawang special. Ito, saka itong isa pa. So saan stricter? Saan stricter ang rule? Sa eskwelahan o sa hospital? Para maging special corporation. And therefore, will be paying less tax. Mas stricto sa hospital. Very good. Kasi for a hospital to be special corporation, it has to be not for profit. Otherwise, kung for profit din yung hospital, the hospital is only an ordinary corporation. Kung for profit. Pero kung yung eskwelahan, not for profit, special corp pa rin siya. Eh lalo na kung private siya tapos non-stock, non-profit, exempt na siya under the Constitution. Okay? Pero ang hospital, non-stock, non-profit na, saka pa lang magiging special. Subject pa rin to tax rate. So ang government, educational institutions and hospitals are exempt. Ang eskwelahan natin, URS Binangonan, or URS, no, the system-wide, falls under this. So CURS is exempt kasi that's a government. Yung mga government hospitals, dito rin yun exempt. Can you give me a school na kilala dito sa Binangonan? Let us put it here in this table. Anong kilala niyong eskwelahan dito sa Binangonan? So we have ICCT, BCC, Rizal Science. Sige, doon lang muna sa tatlo. Rizal Science ay dito. Rizal Science. Government yan eh. Ang BCC, hulaan lang natin ha, pero hindi ko alam yung talagang totoo. Depende kasi yan sa mga documents pa eh. Ang BCC, saan siya dito sa table? Hindi siya government, private yan, di ba? So pagpilian nyo itong dalawa. Which one? Sa tingin ko, si BCC is a Catholic yan na school, di ba? Private siya, pero non-stock, non-profit yan. Hula ko lang naman, hula ko lang. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. Tingin ko lang, ha? Kasi kadalasan sa mga Catholic school, not for profit yung organization. So, example. ICCT. Most likely, ICCT is dito siya nagpo-fall. Private na for profit. Are you familiar dyan sa hospital sa may tapat ng Green Ridge? Grand Span. Binawanan. Tapos, no? BLH. Lakeview. Most likely, what is that hospital? Tingin ko dito nagpo-fall yung BLH. It's a proprietary hospital. Hula ko lang naman, no? It really depends doon sa document na meron sila. Okay? So that's a summary, no? Ang requirement pala, class, dito sa proprietary educational institutions, not for-profit hospital, dapat yung gross income nila from their unrelated, pag lumagpas ng 50%, magiging ordinary sila. Okay? So we are saying, si BCC, dapat yung kanyang gross income hindi lalagpas yung galing sa unrelated. Hindi lalagpas ng 50% ng lahat ng kanyang gross income. Otherwise, kung lumagpas, hindi na siya special corporation, but ordinary siya. Kasi baka mamaya gagawing front lang ito. So BCC, for example, may eskwelahan. Maka-avail lang ng 10% rather than 25%. Pero ang negosyo niya talaga is magpaparenta, magbebenta ng commercial goods, okay? So kung lumagpas na sa 50%, ang dominant niya ng activity is hindi na eskwelahan, hindi na special corp. Okay? Yun yung rule dyan. So yan yung unrelated. So illustration, we have here a private educational institution. So may gross income siya, deduction, net income. Yung galing sa related, so versus unrelated, and the total. If you apply the predominance test, your basis is the gross income. So meaning to say, so it should be the first line. Okay, so yung unrelated sa kanya, 500,000 out of 1.2 million. So hindi naman lumagpas ng 50%. So what do you think of this private educational institution? Is this still a special corporation or it has now become an ordinary? It's still a special corporation. So therefore, special rate of 1% will be the tax rate. Pero next year, this will become 10% next year. Next year. So last part, before we dismiss, no? Depository banks under FCD. So income derived by a depository bank, for example, si BDO, sa kanyang FCDU. Okay? Foreign currency transactions, non-resident, offshore banking units, local commercial banks, and other depository banks under FCDU. Exempt. Pero kung meron siyang interest income from foreign currency loans granted by BDO, for example, under FCDU, to residents other than offshore banking units or other depository banks. So the tax rate is 10%. Let's say, example, number 1. BDO pinautang ng dollar si BPI. Are you familiar with BPI? Bank of the Philippine Islands, no? Another bank. What tax rate will apply? Exempt or 10%? What do you think? FCDU to, FCDU. Anyone? Or we dismiss? Is it exempt or subject to 10%? Please chat. It's a chat box. 10%. Okay, what else? Notice BPI is a local commercial bank. In fact, it's a universal bank. So what's the answer? This is exempt. Now, pangalawa, BDO, FCDU pa rin. Pinautang ng dollar Foods Corporation. B does not fall under non-residents, offshore banking unit, hindi rin siya commercial bank, hindi rin siya other depository banks. Jollibee is a resident of the Philippines. So what do you think? This is subject to 10%. Last na lang, para malinaw. BDO, pinautang si Jollibee But this time, ng peso. Therefore, hindi yan FCDU. This is under the regular banking unit. So what tax rate will apply? Very good. This the one that would apply is the regular corporate income tax, which is 25%. Okay? So, you read the last part? No? We will discuss the rest next meeting. Dahan-dahanin natin. Next week, we'll start early and we'll finish the rest of the module. Mahaba ang topic na to, ang module na to, at marami siyang maliliit na detalye. So study this slowly. Okay? Sige, let's have now our class picture so that we can dismiss. So please turn on your camera. Where's Remy? Siya na lang mag-take ng picture ulit. Sige, sinong pwede mag-take ng picture?
Sir, okay na po.
Okay na. So I'll see you next week, class. No? Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.